G'day, Matt Grace here from Flying Donkey. I came across a really interesting set of drawings the other day from a guy called Ross Harkness, and I want to share them with you here today. I'll link below to Ross's Twitter and also the LinkedIn post I found this on, but I want to run through these and give my thoughts on how they pertain to your business as a SaaS company and how you can potentially use these to drive your business to the next level. Number one, action versus planning. I'm big on this one, and you can see here planning essentially is going to get you almost nowhere. Realistically, in this world, you really need to do action, and more of it to try and get you up the curve. So that's trying things, learning, failing, trying things, learning and failing. Planning does have its place, I'm not going to disagree with you there, but realistically what you want to be is out there doing things and making mistakes and learning from them. On to number two, shiny object syndrome. This one's really important. I see this all the time with founders, and what happens is they're in this business, they have this product, and they see something, whether it be a library, a technology, or something, and they sort of go, oh, let's have a look at that. And they sort of look at it, and then they get bored. And then they find something else, like another technology, or a library, or something that gets distracting them, and they go forward. And then they have another line. And what happens is, you end up just plateauing. The shiny object syndrome is very common, and it's because these people are always problem solvers. It doesn't matter if their SaaS company's grown to be a large SaaS company, or whether it's still a small one, they're always looking for problems to solve. And they always think that problem can be solved easier, or with more money, or in a different way, or doesn't have those challenges. And they keep getting distracted by these shiny object syndromes. Realistically in life, in order to succeed, consistency is what you really need. And that is consistently working at the same problem to become the best person in that niche to deliver that piece. Therefore, don't get caught up with the shiny object syndrome. Really look at consistency and try and keep working on that same product and that same idea. All right, progress versus perfection. To me, this one is really, really interesting. Progress is about moving forward all the time. And what I would relate this back to in a SaaS company is releases. People always want to get something perfect into production all the time. And what happens is this release cycle just becomes a never-ending circle. They're trying to get that last 2-3% with 97% of the release there, and they just hold up the entire release. Get that into production, get the progress out there, get some feedback from your users, and actually move forward. 99% of people are not going to notice what you notice. Perfection is the killer of progress, and you really just need to get what you can out into production and get it into life. So really, really good on that one. One big goal versus tiny little steps. Now this one is sort of self-explanatory, but essentially having one big goal, like, make $1 million company, is really, really hard. It's just never going to be achieved. Like, you can't just have that one goal. And that's the same when you're building a product or building features. You don't just have an epic and you just go build this feature. You've got to break it down into lots of little tiny steps, and you've got to walk up each step one at a time to the finish line. And then yes, once you're at the finish line, you're at the same spot as you could have with the one big goal, but you're never going to climb this. It's never going to happen, and you really need to break everything down into really small stories and really deliver them piece by piece. This is really a sort of agile way of looking at it, but I really like this visualization because people do get caught up in these big goals and they don't go into the detail. All right, number 5, wasted time. Another really key one, and I'd sort of put this in the same bucket as the shiny objects, but I see a lot of people saying yes to things of stuff that they shouldn't be saying yes to. And what they really have to concentrate on is there has to be intent in your day to what you do. So in a SaaS company, there's always going to be competing priorities around security, around features, around different clients. You need to be clear in your company about what you want to deliver for what sort of client, and what that feature set is best for them that can drive your business forward. Saying yes to every single person is really just going to cause more noise, more work, and is that going to actually drop value to your bottom line? It makes development harder, it makes all the roadmaps more difficult, and it just becomes all this wasted time. So really what you want to do is be very clear on your vision, be very clear on what you're aiming for, break that down into the small steps, and only do what you want to do, and then therefore don't waste time. Time is very precious. We don't want to waste too much time because we don't have much of it. Oh, this is a bit of a cliche, this one. Failure is part of success. But essentially here you can see, and we sort of talked about this before, that in failure, you're going to fail 100 times before you succeed once. And that's true in every part of life, and even more true in software. The great thing about software is you can really deliver and keep iterating, and it gives you that opportunity. Unlike something like a car manufacturer who generally releases one model per year, the iteration gaps are far bigger. So that if they make a mistake, there is greater consequences to that. In software, are actually really good. You can get stuff out into market and you can deliver that and see if that is successful. And you want to just keep trying and keep going and keep failing and keep working and keep going for success, because eventually you will get there. I've dropped a couple out in here because there's a couple from Ross that I don't 100% agree with, but you can have a look on his link before and see if you agree with them or not. The last couple here that I just want to talk about, similar vein to the last one, every no is one step closer to a yes. This is probably more true on the sales side than anything else, but essentially you've got to knock on those doors to find the yes. You never know who is going to be that customer that opens the next door for you, and you've just got to keep asking. If you don't ask, you don't know, you couldn't get the right answer. And so here it's really well illustrated because you keep asking no and you're really working up before you get the yes. And finally, what they see is far from reality. So what I like to sort of tool this graph is the overnight success. So right here is what I would consider to be overnight success. And this is the one where, on the nightly news, you'd see 30-year-old sells business for $100 million, makes him multi-millionaire overnight. This is what they see. In reality, this is the journey they've gone on. They started the business all the way back here. It was going great, went off a cliff. Found something else, not bad, and then it finally reaches the same point. I normally say it takes 10 years to make an overnight success, and this really illustrates that very well. You've got to work on that consistency, keep asking, keep moving forward, and keep going in the right direction. Software is one of those things that has a great compounding effect. Once you can get that out into market, the software is there and it will keep running. And it's about building that for your market. I want to thank Ross for these images. I'll link to his descriptions below. Really interesting stuff, and I hope this helps your SaaS business move to the next level.